Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a child like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. I was bound, but now I'm free. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and it was grace my fears relieved. Oh, how precious did that grace appear. The hour I first believed.
Noha Al-Faham and Dima Al-Jamal. Never underestimate the power of moms who want to make their schools and community a better place for all. Noha Al-Faham and Dima Al-Jamal take actions that challenge misperceptions, honor diversity, and educate hundreds of teachers about being a Muslim student in Bloomfield Hills. Hosting annual appreciation dinners at the Muslim Unity Center, where students reflect on their school experiences, Noha and Dima create opportunities for conversations to occur and friendships to form. Arranging for a private viewing and dialogue with the writer-director of the movie The Citizen provided perspective and a valuable resource for use with students.
Reverend Joanne Blair. Recently ordained to the ministry in the PC, USA, Reverend Joanne Blair is passionate about the inclusion of all people. Joanne has served as inclusion coordinator, providing a welcoming climate and educational support leading to full inclusion in the faith community, and currently oversees the church's All Abilities Inclusion Ministry, AAIM, for children and youth. She is the assistant pastor for inclusion and pastoral care at First Presbyterian Church, Birmingham, reaching out to people of all ages and abilities. She regularly leads the Rejoicing Spirits community, a no-shush worship experience and community that celebrates and affirms the gifts of all people.
Crystal Brooks. Crystal Brooks, a Beaumont Hospital Health Field employee, can be described as a pillar of innovative energy as she identifies new avenues of fundraising for United We Walk. Crystal has aggressively sought after business and other resources for 2 consecutive years by leaving no stone unturned to reach the needed goals to fund the event. She actively engages both students and adults United We Walk committee members to work cooperatively together for a successful outcome. She has been instrumental in making United We Walk shine in the greater West Bloomfield community among all diverse groups.
Linda Curdy Bess. Beaumont Health System is honored to nominate Linda Curdy Bess for the 2014 Diversity Champions Honor Roll. Linda has had a significant impact on the Beaumont community, educating and engaging employees and physicians on topics that promote a culturally sensitive environment. In Voice in Action, Linda advocates for children, the underserved, and underrepresented. She volunteers for numerous hours to Beaumont's diversity action committees, including the Royal Diversity Council and the LGBT Policy Task Force. Linda also facilitated Beaumont Royal Oak's first diversity book club. Linda is not afraid to speak out and take action to ensure access to quality care for all. Though she doesn't seek attention for her actions, Beaumont is pleased to draw your attention to our diversity champion, Linda Curdy Bess.
Paul Chulin was born in Chicago to Chinese parents, raised in Mississippi, and educated at University of Michigan. Steeped in Chinese culture as a child and considered different in the community where he grew up, Paul learned to look at situations through the eyes of the other. Today, whether designing a building with the perspective of the disabled or elderly, helping teenagers grasp the importance of the civil rights movement, or bringing public awareness to the value of diversity within our community, Paul sees through the eyes of others and gives voice to the needs he perceives.
Damon Dorkins. Detective Damon Dorkins, our nominee for Diversity Champion, embodies the model ideals of the Sheriff's Office detective. Detective Dorkins is assigned at our Pontiac substation, and in his interactions with the community, he treats residents equally, fairly, and with sensitivity and respect. He is integrally involved in the community not only through his professional duties, but also as a private business owner and operator of a daycare center in the Pontiac area. The services the daycare center provides go above and beyond, not only providing families with quality childcare, but also services like take-home meals to working families in need.
Frank Driscoll. Frank Driscoll is a champion creating ties between the First United Methodist Church of Birmingham and people in the lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender or LGBT community. He leads a team of church members who provide meals for the Ruth Ellis Center, which serves LGBT teenagers and young adults. He was one of the leaders of a forum helping the Methodist Church engage with people in the LGBT community. The forum was attended by about 300 people, representing 45 Methodist churches in Metro Detroit.
Maryi Fishman Kirsch. Maryi Fishman Kirsch was born and raised in Honduras. She is proud to be Latina and Jewish. Raised in a country of 7 million with a Jewish population that numbered less than 100, shaped her commitment to inclusion and embracing diversity. Maryi is a legal and medical interpreter who passionately serves as conduit in helping Spanish-speaking immigrants understand, face, and participate more fully in often challenging circumstances. Maryi is a 5-year West Bloomfield Parks and Recreation Commissioner, is a staunch advocate for accessibility, ensuring that residents of all physical or developmental abilities can fully enjoy the recreation programs and parks.
Brendan Flaherty. For over 21 years as a coach and educator, Brendan Flaherty has helped instill the value of inclusion in the young people he serves. The last 14 of those, Brendan has become a beloved fixture at Groves High School, where he continues to guide students in his classrooms and sports teams to build relationships across race, class, and ability. With the special needs community near to his heart, Brendan launches Birmingham's first Victory Day, where students with disabilities, mentored by players in the Groves football program, experience the excitement of playing football under the stadium lights to cheers of parents, teachers, and peers.
Brenda Gatlin. Even after a stellar 43-year career with Detroit Public Schools, Brenda Gatlin could not stay away from young people. In 2009, Cranbrook School's Horizons Upward Bound hub lured her out of retirement to become its interim college counselor. She now serves as the academic dean and is responsible for recruiting students from low-performing schools in Detroit to apply for admission to hub, whose mission is to prepare students with limited opportunity to enter and succeed in post-secondary education. She's particularly sensitive to the cultural and ethnic nuances of each community when she makes presentations to encourage and excite potential applicants about the opportunities at Hub. The result is a diverse student population representing a varied cross-section of the community.
Patty Gillis. Patty Gillis has spent her entire adult life helping others while working for the St. Vincent de Paul Society, at Our Lady of Good Counsel Church in Detroit, and currently with a nonprofit she formed, Voices for Earth Justice. When working at Good Counsel, she oversaw the incorporation into the parish of the local Hmong community, providing for their spiritual needs as well as supplying a food depot to meet their particular ethnic food requirements. In founding Voices, Patty made it a priority to include, on the board of the organization, people of color, various economic status, and diverse religions. Recently, she convinced the board to purchase and renovate a home in the impoverished Brightmoor area of Detroit. The house provides a location for teaching conservation and gardening to residents of the area.
Rebecca Goldberg. Rebecca Goldberg truly epitomizes the essence of a diversity champion. Rebecca currently serves on the Birmingham Achievement Gap Committee, BAGC, where she has helped to strengthen the BPS Saturday School. By helping to create a partnership between BAGC and the Birmingham African American Family Network, Rebecca has assisted the BPS Saturday School in becoming an accessible tutoring and mentorship program for all BPS students. In addition, Rebecca also serves on the BPS Diversity Committee and established a diversity committee at Berkshire Middle School. Overall, Rebecca's commitment to honoring diversity has made her an invaluable asset to Birmingham Public Schools.
Zelma Gottlieb. For over 10 years, Zelma Gottlieb, TCH Travel Director, has enriched lives in our community by offering the public opportunities to immerse themselves in other cultures and societies. In 2012, Zelma organized one of the first groups of Americans to travel legally to Cuba. Once-in-a-lifetime opportunities such as these help to expand the minds and hearts of those in our community. Zelma Gottlieb is truly a purveyor and champion of diversity.
Ali Hamka. Without thought, one individual comes to mind. Ali Hamka, champion of diversity and Seaholm assistant principal. Ali came to BPS fall of 2013 with fire in his belly. He deliberately chose a homogenous community to ignite his cause. His passion evokes enthusiasms in others. He encourages people to look beyond their cultural limitations through humor and sarcasm. He's bold enough to challenge what many of us have been conditioned to believe. He stimulates conversations that squash ignorance without judgment. Recently, he attended the National Association of Cultural Education Conference in California. Immediately following, he tailored his staff development day to include diversity in thought, not based on gender, ethnicity, or sexual orientation. Furthermore, he is an active member of the BPS Diversity Task Force. He lives what he preaches.
Stacy Jackson. Stacy's commitment to diversity began at Aquinas College, where she was the Director of Multicultural Affairs. There, she provided the campus with diversity programming and input on campus issues related to equity and inclusion. As the coordinator of student development at Oakland Community College, she continues to infuse diversity in her student programs through workshops, speakers, and panels. She is an active member of the Diversity and Inclusion Committee and Global Education. She coordinates the MLK Day of Service and Cultural Diversity Month events on campus. Additionally, she serves as a board member of the Oakland County Diversity and Employment Council.
Chanel Jaden. Chanel Jaden is the owner of MEA TV and Radio, which provides a unique niche in television broadcasting within the Middle Eastern American community. In 2009, Chanel created MEA TV in response to the need for educational, economic, and social advancement within the Middle Eastern community. MEA TV and Radio's daily programming is aired to over 550,000 members of Middle Eastern American citizens, making MEA TV the leading Middle Eastern television network in North America. Chanel has balanced her very busy professional life with the support and dedication of her family, who have encouraged her to mentor and provide leadership for the next generation of Middle Eastern Americans.
Mary Kerwin. President of the Women Officials Network Foundation, Mary Kerwin recognizes that creating an accepting, affirming board culture increases board performance. She has facilitated board retreats and workshops for ONE and other local organizations and nonprofits free of charge. She is recognized statewide for her exemplary work as a leadership development trainer. Mary has served on elected and nonprofit boards and has success in bringing millennials and people of color to the board table, increasing accountability to constituents, stakeholders, and funders. The ONE Foundation commends Mary's work and service in building a culture of inclusion and promoting high-achieving teams.
Julie LeBurn. Julie LeBurn is a champion for all students who need a personal advocate. Scouring data and identifying students who need additional support is all part of Julie's ongoing routine. The students who are identified as being below grade level are taken under Mrs. LeBurn's wing, and an Intervention for Success plan is created. Additionally, this year, Mrs. LeBurn had a vision to connect Pierce Elementary School with other countries. Her brainchild, titled We Are the World, created a connection for each Pierce classroom with people from other countries. Her efforts developed connections and empathy in Pierce students for other cultures.
Imelda Martin Hum. Imelda Martin Hum is the current president of the Filipino American Community Council in Michigan, an umbrella organization of 45 Filipino American organizations whose main objectives are to unify the community and to promote the culture and traditions of the Filipino people. She has chaired several community events such as the Simbang Gabi, to continue a religious tradition from back home, and the Rizal Day celebration last December to honor a Philippine national hero, Jose Rizal. She envisioned a new way of including the welfare of the school children and personally donated books, school bags, and educational materials to benefit a library and pupils in the Philippines. As president of Kiwanis Metro North in Troy, Michigan, she leads projects to benefit children here.
Maureen McGinnis. Women Officials Network is proud to recognize Maureen McGinnis for her dedication to WON's mission of presenting training to inspire and empower current and future policymakers. Maureen has served on both the WON and the WON Foundation and has secured sponsorships and participated in program planning to provide outreach throughout the region through programs like the Nuts and Bolts of Running for Office, Misrepresentation, and Camp Moxie, all of which have sparked dialogue and prompted action. In her service as a mentor and advocate, Maureen embodies the ideals of one and has moved the organization forward. We applaud Maureen McGinnis, a dynamic leader and diversity champion.
James McLaughlin, 1948 to 2013. Our beloved Jim was an unrelenting and tireless worker for PFLAG Detroit, parents and friends of lesbians and gays, including transgender. He was often the first to show up and the last to leave events that promoted diversity, including gay pride, fundraising, anniversary celebration of PFLAG. He was an astute financial and organizational administrator who kept PFLAG running smoothly and up to date. Jim's behind-the-scene, unsung leadership for many years enabled PFLAG Detroit to generate and expand its circle of influence or inclusion. We love you, Jim. You are greatly missed.
George Mixon. George Mixon has been a teacher at Covington School for 14 years. In that time, he has served as a living example of the power of diversity and inclusion both in and out of the classroom. He has worked formally and informally to break down racial stereotypes among his students and to help all children appreciate the full potential that people from different backgrounds bring to the various communities in which George serves. George operates biculturally on a daily basis, meaning he understands the nuances of life as an African American male in a white dominant society. He helps students see the insidiousness of racism and promotes question asking and reflection as a tool for change among middle school students. Through his numerous stories and personal experiences, George has given many students pause and helped them to reorder their thinking about people of color. As a teacher, coach, and father, George is and has always been a diversity champion.
Barbara Morehouse. Barbara Morehouse has been a longtime member of AAUW Birmingham branch. She advocates for AAUW's public policy issues impacting women, equitable school funding, campaign finance reform, and support for women running for public office at any level. To that end, in 1996, Barbara and a friend started the Women's Officials Network, ONE. It offers programs for women seeking elective office and opportunities for networking. As a member of the League of Women Voters, Barbara has testified before legislative committees in support of issues affecting women and school children. AAUW Birmingham branch is proud of Barbara Morehouse and her efforts on behalf of all Michigan citizens.
Barbara Maretsky. Barbara Maretsky is the motivation behind MLK 365's 50th anniversary programs featuring The Dream Speech by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. She envisioned an opportunity for Greater West Bloomfield in concert with United We Walk to celebrate, remember, and act. Barbara researched, strategized, and orchestrated outreach, assuring success of 3 signature events in 2 days hosted at West Bloomfield's Library, August 27th through 28th. Attendees read aloud the dream speech and selected writings of Dr. King and shared deeply moving personal stories, facilitating, building, and sustaining our beloved community. Barbara models the values embraced by MLK 365, caring, fairness, citizenship, respect, responsibility, and trustworthiness.
Tom Nelson. Tom has proclaimed his passionate message of inclusion for over 20 years through his work in PFLAG, Parents, Families, and Friends of Lesbians and Gays, Fortunate Families, a ministry to Catholic families with LGBT daughters and sons, and Inclusive Justice, an interfaith advocacy group working to make faith communities more welcoming and to increase equality in public policy for LGBT people. Tom's energy and compassion have propelled him to publicly demonstrate his dedication to changing minds and hearts by speaking out and writing on the theme, "God gave me a gay son and it is my greatest blessing." Tom has had many letters and articles published, and recently a book about his journey called An Ordinary Catholic.
Irene Under Shannon. Irene is a senior process excellence consultant with Trinity Health, the nation's 4th largest Catholic healthcare provider. She has been an OLHSA board member since 2006 and is currently the chairperson. During her tenure on the board, Irene has worked diligently on the agency-wide strategic planning process. She also serves on the Executive, Finance, Human Resources, and Governance Committees. Her commitment to OLHSA's annual Walk for Warmth has increased community participation. She is a strong advocate for OLHSA and demonstrates her commitment to the agency and its mission of serving our diverse client population throughout Oakland and Livingston counties.
Sasha Ovshinsky Murphy. The Grosse Pointe Academy is proud to nominate Sasha Ovshinsky Murphy as a diversity champion. Sasha is both a teacher and alumnus from GPA. She volunteers time before and after school every day to work with students with learning challenges. Ms. Sasha is the unofficial adult refuge advocate and advisor for students of color. She maintains relationships and remains a role model for many young women well after they leave the academy. Her mind is open, her heart is kind, and her patience immense.
Tamala Peace. A Steel Magnolia accurately describes Tamala Peace's demeanor as United We Walk congratulates her as its 2014 Diversity Champion. Tamala, an international corporate employee in the communications arena who has worked diligently with efficiency as chairperson of the community dinner segment of the United We Walk event, has been successful in making the dinner a first-class affair for several years. She has aggressively tackled local restaurants and other resources for sponsorships for her gracious complimentary dinner with multicultural dishes in an inviting atmosphere. Tamala has accomplished it all in a kind, refined, and effortless manner.
Sharon Posnaks. Sharon Posnaks is an energetic teacher and librarian who's taken on 2 unique projects serving diverse student populations. Seeing that the library at Will Rogers Elementary in Pontiac had not been in use for years, she recorded the book collection and started book checkout 2 days a week with the help of volunteers that she recruited. Students are also enjoying story time and novel reading along with learning library skills. The library is now up and running, serving all students K through 6th. Sharon also co-chaired a very successful Sundays and Science evening for middle school girls and their mothers, sponsored by the American Association of University Women, Rochester Branch. This year's program was called Cupcakes and Crime CSI. Workshops were designed to encourage the girls to consider careers in science, math, and technology. Sharon is a dynamic leader who discovers a need and finds a way to fill it.
Mark Rosales. Mark Rosales has been a proactive advocate of diversity at Nissan, voluntarily serving as the president of our multicultural employee team. In that capacity, he has led a range of efforts from cultural celebrations to enrichment programs. Mark has taken an integral role in holding internal cultural celebrations for Asian Pacific, Hispanic, and African American cultures. The celebrations included the arts and food of each group, thereby making each event a unique and engaging experience. As an avid supporter of our robotics program, Mark arranged for Nissan to host our first robotics tournament, with a diverse mix of students participating from across Michigan. Mark's team hosted breakfasts to promote discussion and sharing at a personal level around the topics of diversity and inclusion. A key to Mark's success is the ability to align his planned inclusion events with company objectives.
Kathleen Sammel. Kathleen Sammel is Cranbrook's Diversity Champion this year based on her lifelong commitment to equity, justice, inclusion, and multiculturalism. There is a rather extensive list of her professional and community contributions that literally span the globe. Her work connects Detroit to the rest of the world through Children's International Village, a nonprofit organization that is dedicated to multicultural education designed to make children, teens, adults culturally competent. Kathleen shares her passion through board work, curriculum development, SEED, Seeking Educational Equality and Diversity, training, and guided tours of Detroit. Her role in Cranbrook's public purpose is invaluable to the mission of the school.
Wendy S. Seaton. Wendy is a dedicated diversity professional who manages the planning and implementation of Comerica's corporate diversity education program and supports Comerica's diversity outreach to more than 9,000 employees nationwide. Wendy was selected to develop and implement Comerica's signature Master of Diversity Awareness, MDA, program. This program provides employees an opportunity to engage in self-paced diversity learning that enhances work relationships with customers and fellow colleagues. Wendy managed the development of the program content and procedures and helped to develop 2 new tracking systems for the program. Through her efforts, employee enrollment in Comerica's MDA program has increased from 19% in 2013 to 63% in January 2014. Wendy also supports activities of Comerica's employee resource groups, including serving as a volunteer for the Comerica LGBT Alliance outreach at the annual Pride Festival in Detroit.
Mickey Stower. Mickey Stower is a librarian at the Baldwin Public Library. Under her guidance, the teen department has consistently provided a places for all teens to feel welcome, respected, and safe. The current teen collection actively reflects the faces of all teens. Mickey has brought together teens and seniors in unique programs held at the Baldwin House. This outreach has brought together 2 generations that may sometimes feel marginalized, in a way that has benefits for both. Mickey has the dedication to inclusion and has been able to act on those ideas through her work with both teens and our elder population.
Letitia Tappan. Our school is a very special place in Bloomfield Hills with a diverse population. Our school leader and principal, Letitia Tappan, not only welcomes diversity but advocates for it. Letitia goes above and beyond for students. She is an advocate for including students with special needs into the general education classrooms. Letitia provides students with clean clothes, fresh clothes, and creates an atmosphere where children feel comfortable to tell her that they have not had any food to eat. And she provides it, mostly out of pocket. She helps students who cannot afford tutoring receive that help, and for students who cannot pay for after-school care, she assists with that as well. Letitia also has an amazing impact on the parents in our community. Letitia maintains positive relationships with staff, students, and parents. She has helped organize collection drives for parents who get their electricity turned off and for staff members who have fallen on hard times. Letitia is an inspiration and goes above and beyond for students, parents, and staff every day.
Pririta Tripathi. Pririta Tripathi was recognized by Chamber staff as a team member who exemplifies the organization's guiding principles of diversity and inclusion. She has done this through her efforts as a committee member of the Chamber's Diversity Council, where she has led staff lunch and learns to increase the diversity competency in the organization. In doing so, Pririta is seen as a team member that has embraced and promoted diversity and does her part to incorporate into the organization. Pririta is also regarded as someone who gets along well with everyone and is not afraid to speak up.
Nathan Wells. The Greenfield Elementary School community would like to recognize Mr. Nathan Wells as its diversity champion. Mr. Wells is a fourth grade teacher at Greenfield who has been actively involved on Greenfield's diversity committee and has shared his perspectives and experiences with children, staff, and parents. Nate embodies the Greenfield way of respect, responsibility, and kindness on a daily basis. He is a member of Brothers Making a Difference, which assists 8 through 11-year-old children. Mr. Wells is an exceptional role model for students and is an advocate for fairness and justice both within and outside the classroom.
Kathy A. Wilkins. Kathy Wilkins has a passion for promoting multicultural education to all children as reflected in all the activities with which she has been involved. She assisted in writing a grant through the Reading is Fundamental Foundation and in developing a multicultural library at the Julia Ward Howe Elementary School in Detroit. She has served as judge for the Detroit Area Pre-College Engineering Program Science Fair. She develops and directs numerous programs that place emphasis on persons of color. In 2012, as the African American History Program Coordinator at the school, she focused on multicultural faces around the world. In addition, these programs introduce students to Michigan's multicultural prodigies.
Through many dangers, toils, and snares, we have already come. It was grace that brought us safe thus far, and grace will lead us home. Amazing grace, sound that saved a child like me. Once was lost, but now I'm found. I was blind,